Qi Chunying held tightly onto Yi Chuan, giggling as she exclaimed that his body was incredibly solid and well built. Seeing the scene unfold, Zhang Xian shouted Qi Chunying's name, demanding that she let go immediately and stop touching Yi Chuan like that. Cold sweat ran down Yi Chuan's back as he hurriedly stepped away, explaining to Zhang Xian that he had important matters to take care of. But Qi Chunying paid no attention. She leaned her face closer to Yi Chuan and boldly declared that she was extremely interested in him and wanted the two of them to spar. Yi Chuan could only stare in shock at the sudden and aggressive proposal. Without the slightest hesitation, he immediately refused. Meanwhile, Zhang Xian seemed oddly excited. She encouraged Yi Chuan to fight with everything he had, saying this was a rare opportunity for him to sharpen his skills against a true expert. Without giving Yi Chuan any chance to refuse again, Qi Chunying decisively waved her hand, signaling everyone around them to step back and make room for the duel. The surrounding crowd immediately began whispering among themselves, eagerly anticipating a dramatic spectacle as the instructor prepared to punish a rookie. Qi Chunying raised one hand into the air and shouted loudly, "Sword, come to me!" In an instant, several gigantic swords shot down from the sky like bolts of lightning, creating a deafening roar upon arrival. Gripping the hilt of her massive blade, Qi Chunying charged straight at Yi Chuan and unleashed a simple yet overwhelmingly powerful slash aimed directly at his head. However, Yi Chuan reacted quickly and dodged the attack with swift footwork. The tremendous strike slammed into the ground, sending chunks of stone and debris flying everywhere while dust exploded into the air. Squinting through the thick cloud of dust, Yi Chuan wondered whether this woman actually intended to kill him with such a ferocious attack. Qi Chunying maintained her relentless offensive stance. Using her weapon as support, she launched herself upward, her body surrounded by dazzling blue-white spiritual energy. The moment she closed in on Yi Chuan, she instantly delivered a powerful kick. A violent burst of energy erupted at the point of impact, blasting everything nearby away from the shockwave. Yi Chuan was sent flying backward, his body skidding violently across the ground in a miserable display. Staggering back to his feet, Yi Chuan scratched his head and clicked his tongue in disbelief. He had never expected this woman to possess such terrifying strength. On the opposite side, Qi Chunying was becoming increasingly excited. She shouted for Yi Chuan to focus and fight seriously before charging at him once more. Qi Chunying unleashed another mighty slash. The surrounding earth shattered apart, while chunks of rock floated into the air from the sheer force of the energy shockwave. Dust and smoke billowed upward, completely obscuring the vision of the onlookers. Zhang Xian, standing outside, began to worry, shouting what Qi Chunying was planning to do and warning her not to harm Yi Chuan. But Qi Chunying paid no attention to Zhang Xian's words. Instead, her eyes suddenly widened in shock at what she was witnessing. When the dust settled, Yi Chuan was in a firm defensive stance, using his butcher's knife to parry his opponent's massive sword. Qi Chunying smirked when she saw that Yi Chuan had endured the full force of her attack. She declared that now she would finally begin fighting seriously. Yet Yi Chuan showed not the slightest hint of fear. He knew very well that if he failed to defeat this female instructor, she definitely would not stop. Seeing Yi Chuan suddenly overflowing with fighting spirit, Qi Chunying appeared extremely satisfied. Resting her sword on her shoulder, she praised his attitude approvingly. The two continued facing each other on the training ground, the atmosphere tense to the extreme. Suddenly, Qi Chunying sensed that something was wrong. Her eyes widened as she stared toward the distant horizon. Both Yi Chuan and Zhang Xian noticed the strange change as well. They exchanged confused glances, wondering what exactly was happening. Qi Chunying's expression turned extremely grim as she sensed an enormous and terrifying surge of energy erupting somewhere far away. A gigantic pillar of blue-white spiritual energy suddenly erupted into the sky, piercing through the clouds and radiating a terrifying pressure. Qi Chunying cried out in shock as she realized it was the sign of a newly appearing secret realm. The dazzling beam of light illuminated an entire section of the sky, instantly drawing the attention of everyone in the surrounding area. Elsewhere, Wang Yuan and Zhao Wan were also watching the strange phenomenon with intense focus. Worried because Yi Chuan still had not returned, the scene shifted to a grand yet ominous mansion, the headquarters of the Thunder Master Alliance. Inside the Great Hall, Hundreds of purple candles illuminated the pathway leading toward a throne crafted from white bones. Seated at the center was the leader of the Thunder Master Alliance, who was also Lei Gang's older brother. He was absolutely furious after learning of his younger brother's death. The subordinates below him were stunned, unable to believe what they had just heard. One of them tremblingly asked about the cause of Lei Gang's death. The guild leader waved his hand, summoning two short swords crackling with purple lightning. These were Lei Gang's weapons. The killing intent radiating from them made the surrounding air seem to freeze. The two short swords began controlling the lightning around them, forming glowing words in the air. Nine Heavens Alliance, Butcher. The guild leader clenched his fists tightly, his eyes bloodshot with hatred. He swore that the entire Nine Heavens Alliance would pay a devastating price. At the Shaw family estate, Miss Shaw Nanan was running around playfully while the servants anxiously followed behind, asking where she was going. Excitedly, Shaw Nanan held up a golden bottle of medicinal concoction she had just refined and proudly showed it to Uncle Zhao. She boasted that she had used demon blood, monster eyes, and bat wings to create it. Now all she wanted was to show her father her achievement. Sweat poured down the steward's face as he hurriedly stopped her, advising her not to enter because the head of the Shaw family was currently occupied in an important meeting with 4 powerful experts. It would be best not to disturb him at a time like this. Hearing that, Shaw Nanan puffed out her cheeks in disappointment. Since staying at home was so boring, she declared that she would just go outside and find Yi Chuan instead. The moment he heard this, the steward immediately panicked. He desperately tried to persuade her otherwise, arguing that the situation outside was extremely dangerous and that the young miss absolutely should not go anywhere right now. Meanwhile, inside the meeting room, the atmosphere was incredibly grim. The Shaw clan leader sat imposingly before his trusted subordinates. Lowering his voice, he asked the experts standing below whether they had also sensed the horrifying surge of energy that had just erupted outside. The masked subordinates stood motionless, each one carefully listening to their master's orders with absolute obedience. The Shaw clan leader's gaze gradually became more ambitious than ever before. He declared with certainty that if the Shaw family wished to maintain its supreme status within the martial world, then they absolutely had to seize the newly emerged secret realm at any cost. Thank you all for supporting my video. I wish you endless happiness and joy in life. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and leave a comment to show your support. I sincerely appreciate it.